Who am I? Did you ever ask yourself that question? I certainly did. Sometimes we ask that when we're teenagers or going into adulthood. Sometimes we ask it later in life, trying to figure out who we are and why we're here. Big questions. Today's episode, we're going to share three key things, three areas that we need to look into as we begin this journey of learning more about ourselves so that we can live a life that is fuller, that's more abundant. Welcome to Vida Bunda, a place where we talk about life change, about how to be more intentional so that we can give and live more abundantly. And the first thing we want to do when we're learning more about ourselves is to assess our personality and how our words and our actions affect other people. Every one of us has unique personality. There's nobody that has the exact same combination of characteristics in this life. There are many tools out there, many different temperament and personality tests that you can take to help you discover kind of what your natural build is, how you normally respond to things, and put some labels on it. And sometimes that can help some people. We also, through that process, can begin to discover the things that really bother us sometimes. But more importantly, we want to be able to discover how our actions and our words are affecting other people. Because sometimes we do things and we don't have any idea how that's coming across to somebody else, how hurtful it might be to them. And we just keep doing it and we keep hurting people without even knowing it. So we want to make sure that we get some good friends in our lives, some people who can be really honest with us and can call us out on things or just share feedback to say, hey, when you said this, it made me feel like that. And that can open up our eyes to a whole new world of how the things that we're doing and the things that we're saying are negatively impacting other people, so that we can begin, as we become more aware of that, we can actually begin to make some changes in our life. So I encourage you to just do a Google search on personality tests. You'll find all kinds of different ones. Often local universities have those services available. There are obviously private practices as well where you can go and take different kinds of tests. Some of them can be online. Some of them take a long time, like an hour or two to complete, lots and lots of questions. And there are many different ones out there, so just choose some that are within your budget that you think might be helpful, and take as many of them as you can, and then look for some of the common tendencies. So some of those things might tell you, for example, whether you tend to be more introverted or extroverted. Maybe you already know that, but sometimes it's helpful to just have that in a document. And once you've done a number of these personality tests, then I'd encourage you to start what I call your personal profile. And we'll talk about this more a little bit later in the episode, but the personal profile is just going to be a place, like one place, where you put together all this information that you're learning about yourself so that you can see it all together, and it can help you learn how you are and how what you're doing is affecting other people, so you can begin to make those changes. So take personality tests and learn as much as you can about yourself. The second big area that we need to learn about in the self-discovery process is actually difficult, and it's painful sometimes, and that is to identify the hurts, the heart wounds, if you will, things that have happened to us in the past that have shaped us negatively often, sometimes positively, but in general, heart wounds have an impact. They leave a mark on our lives, and they cause us to do things and to be a certain way that isn't necessarily always the healthiest. And this, as I said, is a very painful process. It takes time. We can't just do it all at once. We can start by making a quick list of different traumatic events or offenses or things that hurt us from our past. And then we need to probably find a therapist or a support group of some kind where we can start processing each one of those wounds and thinking about it and talking about it and analyzing how that shaped our lives. Now, as a part of that process, we also want to try to identify what are some coping mechanisms that we have developed. Could be often pretty negative coping mechanisms, bad habits that we have, that actually might have been resulted from those traumatic events in the past. Maybe we have certain things that we always try to avoid, or we have certain things that we always do that we know we probably shouldn't be doing, very often the reason we keep doing that is because we have unprocessed trauma in our life. So first, look at personality. Second, examine the hurts from your past. Third, identify your gifts and skills and talents. And this is just a kind of a fun thing to do. You can do something like the Clifton Strengths Finder or many other tools that are out there that help you to discover what are you really good at. And you can start by just simply asking that question of yourself and jotting down a few notes. What is it that you're really good at? What is it? And often the things that we're really good at, we don't even think about them because they're so normal, they're so natural to us that we don't even notice. We think everybody has that skill or that unique ability, and really they don't. We do. We are able to do that much more easily than anybody else. And so we want to take time to think about that. And we often need help from other people, right? We need somebody else to be the one to tell us, hey, you're really good at such and such. And when we do that, we listen. We want to make sure that we're listening to those people who are giving us that feedback and jotting those things down to help us to discover what are the skills, the talents, the abilities, the knowledge, the wisdom, the things that we are able to do pretty well. So think about it yourself first, ask other people, and then add all that information that you're gleaning about your skills and talents, that big list of things that you're good at, to your personal profile. Now, I would like to offer you for free just a quick little worksheet that you can go through to help you through these questions that we've talked about in today's episode. And if you're interested in that, just go to vitabunda.com and click on contact and fill out the form, and we'll send you for free this little worksheet, a helpful 2-page worksheet that can guide you through this process of beginning the process of discovering yourself so that you can live a fuller and more successful life. To conclude, each one of us is special. There is not a single person in the world that has the exact same personality, temperament, life experience, skills, abilities, and knowledge as you do. You are special. You are unique. And each one of us is. I believe each one of us was designed for a very specific purpose. We have purpose and meaning that we're things that we're supposed to be doing here while we are living on this planet. Remember that. And we want to encourage you today to really take the time to examine your personality, to analyze the wounds from your past, and to think about the skills and talents that you have and how that combination, that special package that's you, can actually make an impact on this world.